Hello, everybody, and welcome to Corsace Closed 2023. This is going to be the intro stream. I hope you all just enjoyed that nice little intro video we had there. It's the Corsace anime. It's real. This is the premier 1v1 tournament of the year. It's been a long wait since Corsace opened last year. We put in a lot of work to make this the best tournament it could be. And now we are going to start the introduction. I am Miles, joined by Taikani. How are you doing, Taikani?
Hello, Miles. How are you doing today? Because I am doing fabulous.
That's the first time I saw that intro video, by the way. That is sick.
So good. I was not ready. I heard whispers about it, but I'd never seen it. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, like I had no idea that was in the works actually. That was just so cool. The Corsace anime, like Kavo mentioned it at some point, but I wasn't sure like what that entailed. I didn't know they were actually making like characters of all the players. That's so awesome. So, okay, let's get right on into the player introductions. So you all saw a little glimpse at which players are going to be playing, but now here we're going to go a little bit more in depth on the players who were invited for Corsace Closed. Obviously, we have 16 of the best tourney players in the game playing this tournament. So we're going to get on into some statistics here. These statistics are based off of their Corsace performances from prior years. And if players haven't played Corsace Closed in the past, then they will not have any statistics. So first off here, we have Henry. This is his first year being invited to Corsace Closed, so unfortunately we aren't really going to have statistics on him, but definitely a player that has proven to be one of the top tourney players in the game in the last 6 months. I think starting with OWC, he really proved himself in being one of the most all-round, one of the most well-rounded, one of the strongest, most consistent, high skill cap players in the game. So we're definitely going to be expecting a lot from him here.
I would say even Corsace Open, where he really showed himself showing up on the stage and winning the tournament with his team. Corsace champion in his first time ever playing the tournament is no small feat.
Yeah, definitely a very impressive player that we're going to be looking out for to maybe put in a nice deep run here in Corsace Close. So now we're going to head on to the next player.
Maybe.
Yep, here he is. Taquito. So you all know Henry and Taquito. On running joke of them being the same player because of how they have their profile aesthetics, but it's a little coincidence that we have them right after each other. I'm surprised there aren't any statistics here for Taquito. I think he has played Corsace Close before. Okay,
There we are.
Just taking a little second to load. So Taquito, hailing from the USA, very strong hidden player, very strong, well, all-rounded player. Has very high stats across many different skill sets, above 7 in every single skill set. But I think mostly known for his hidden and tech prowess.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a talented tech player, a little bit of a tech mapper as well, actually. I think when I think tech, honestly, these days I start to think Taquito.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name. But he's not just known for his strengths. He has also proven to be an all-round player, a clutch player. In the last 2 years of OWC, he was the top performing player on Team USA on the final map of the tournament. So just having that clutch gene in him, he's going to be showing up for every match. He's going to be putting in the work. He's going to be trying his best to get a very strong performance as the only USA player invited to close this year. Now, next up, we have MX10001, who we're going to be commentating as Karcher because everyone knows him as Karcher. If you didn't know Karcher, if you went in a coma for the last 6 months and you woke up now, you might wonder why Karcher is here. But if you've watched anything in the last 6 months, you know why he's here. This guy is arguably one of the top 3 tourney players in the game, going up against guys like Malashevsky. He is just so consistent. He was the scariest player in OWC by far, I think, carrying South Korea to that second place. He is just a force to be reckoned with. Now let's wait for his stats to show up.
I don't believe he has stats. He did not play in this tournament last year.
That is true.
Karcher was a little bit of a threat among 3 digits for a while, but it was really in 2022 where we start to see him just outshine everyone around him, even within South Korea. Karcher has been consistently amazing at performing in the past couple months. We've seen it in OWC, we've seen it in his solo plays even, every tournament he has shown up and done major damage.
Yeah, such a scary player. I mean, just the fact that you can compare anyone to Malashevsky just means that definitely a player to look out for. Definitely someone who's going to have the world of expectations on his shoulders. Going to be looking to put probably a top 3 run here in Corsace Closed. Now, next off, we have Suwagi, hailing from Hong Kong, one of Hong Kong's super players here. Very strong aim player, Suwagi. Been around the tourney scene for a very long time, going by a bunch of different names. Formerly known as Ilya Lover, Dragbit3, Lolly Lover, now Suwagi. I think this name's the best, but we're not going to talk about that. Suwagi, I think mostly known for his aim. Very strong, very consistent aim player and all-around player. I think, if anything, I would just say not really a speed player, but you can count on Suwagi to put in a very strong performance just about anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Suwagi can get a score on pretty much anything in the pool except for maybe speed. Super, super consistent, super good player. He's been around a long time. It's great to finally see him in Corsace Closed.
Mm-hmm. Now, gonna be quickly moving on to the next player. We have Nineric. Nineric, another player who I think has really emerged in the last year, coming from Norway, not South Korea, but definitely known mostly for his speed. I would say actually kind of an opposite player of Suwagi. This guy is one of the best speed tourney players in the game. Set the benchmark for how you should be as a DT player in a tournament. Also very strong at Hard Rock. I think, if anything, I would say he's not a hidden player, but it's not that he can't perform on it either. If a hidden map has more of a mechanical focus, he's proven that he can perform on that. Just maybe not his preference, but we're going to be expecting a lot from him as well as one of the strong speed players in the tournament.
Yeah, it's very, very well known what he's good at. In fact, he won Solo Speed Showdown, which was essentially a 1v1 speed cup. And I think that sort of speaks to how insane his speed ability is. It's great to see him here. A very good speed mechanics player all around, and I can't wait to see how he performs in this tournament.
Yep, the Penguin from Norway, going to be expecting a lot from him here. Also a player who has not played in Corsace in the past, hence the 0 stats. Now, next up here we have Rimuru, coming from Latvia, I believe residing in the UK right now. This guy is one of the top ranked players in the game. I believe he is number 3 right now, but I cannot confirm that information. Definitely one of the strongest mechanics players we have in the tournament. Known to be one of the best aim, one of the best speed players in the game, maybe comparable to Emrek himself in that regard. And I think that's mostly what we're going to be expecting from him in Corsace Closed. Not too active of a tournament player, but I believe the last major performance I saw from him was back in Yaz's Summer Cup last year, when I believe he got top 3 in that tournament, which means he's no stranger to the tourney scene, just maybe a face you see a little bit less often.
Yeah, for sure. Such a strong player all around, and you were right. He's number 3 worldwide ranking right now.
Definitely a player I think will be a wild card in this tournament. We're going to really be expecting a lot from him, but not really sure exactly where to put him among all the other top tourney players we have here. And next off, we have Ciccone. Of course, Ciccone's avatar has cat ears, or bunny ears, I mean, yeah. Ciccone, the Pecco himself. I think Ciccone, just one of the strongest speed tourney players in the world as well. I'd say fairly similar to Nineric. Very strong at DT, very strong at Hard Rock, but also proven himself to be able to tussle with people on some different types of picks as well. I think we all remember his very strong performance in Charlie's Perfect Math class last year, where he shocked the world, beating some of the top tourney players in the game, and just sticking to his guns, being able to win DT, win Hard Rock, take a break point here and there, and definitely a player to be watching out for in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I think CPMC was Ciccone's breakout performance, and he absolutely has the chance at any given moment in time to do that again. And I really hope we do see some sort of CPMC-esque performance in this tournament. It would be really, really cool to see Ciccone perform at that level once again. And that's why he's here in the first place.
And I mean, this tournament, I think the first tournament since CPMC to have map pools that are about as hard as CPMC. This Corsace Closed, I think people commented last year, the pools were fairly easy compared to the standard last year. So this year we're going to be increasing the difficulty a lot. These pools are going to be very, very hard, and I think that will suit Ciccone very well for his chances to go far in the tournament. And next up, we have the robot shaman himself, Emrek. I don't think this player needs much of an introduction. This is the most talented Osu player I think we have ever seen, and I think we ever will see for a very long time. He is approaching the summit of 25,000 PP. For the record, I have 11,500, and I'm a 3-digit. He has double the PP of people who are also 3 digits. I think, did he win Corsace Open this year, or was he on the second place team? I think he was on the first place team.
He was on the first place team.
Yep, so Emrek is a player who's kind of been a wild card in tournaments because it's not often we see him really give it his all in a tournament. So we're going to be hoping to see the most from Emrek in this tournament because when it comes to raw talent, there is nobody who even comes close. Maybe Malashevsky. But Emrek is just a whole different level when it comes to skill cap, and when these pools hit late stage, I don't think we can count on anyone other than him to be able to play it. And Emrek is a player who has played in Corsace previously. You can see some of his stats. 8 rated aim, definitely one of his best skill sets, also alongside speed. I think that's what you're really going to be expecting to see Emrek pick in this tournament, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think Emrek is a player that goes without word, without introduction. His reputation precedes him as the best player in the world as far as the global rankings are concerned. Very, very good player, and he can absolutely show up whenever he needs to. You know, he was one of the key elements to winning Corsace Open for his team last year. And so, I'm hoping that we'll see that kind of Emrek in this tournament.
Yeah, it's just which Emrek are we going to see? I'm hoping we see peak Emrek, because if we see peak Emrek, I don't think you could really make any argument against him being able to win this tournament. So let's wait and find out. Next off, we have the Monocle, the blob dancer himself, hailing from Singapore. He has proven himself to be one of the premier all-around players in the game. He proved himself to be a super carry for Team Singapore in the OWC. He was able to compete with some of the top tourney players in the world in the round table earlier this year. And now Demonical will be coming to Corsace Closed. Definitely a very strong mechanics player. I could expect him to do very well on, I think, the No-Mods, the Hard Rocks, and the DTs. I think less of a hidden player, but still definitely a player where I think he could be a wild card, and on a good day, he could be maybe a lot of the players that are also in this tournament.
Yeah, Demonical absolutely has the chance to go super far. Getting talked about the mechanics prowess and basically just the best player in Singapore. So I'm hoping to see that Demonical really awakens with the other kinds of maps along with the amazing mechanics performance to see a very competitive, show from Demonical.
Yeah, I think his skill cap is definitely going to be very useful when the pools are as hard as they will be this closed. So going to be hoping to see a very good performance from him. Very strong player is Demonical. Next up, we have MCY4 alongside Suwagi, another one of the super players from Hong Kong. I think MCY most recently made himself known in the round table to the rest of the world, getting top 2 in the round table, going to be getting a trip to LA to play at that LAN event. Now, also going to be playing at Corsace Closed. Very strong player who has shown himself to be able to play just about anything in the game, who should be regarded as one of the best tourney players in the world right now. Just so consistent across so many different skill sets. There's really not much that you can confidently pick against him. I think he's a player where you really just have to pick your best maps, because when it comes to being an all-rounder, he's definitely up there with some of the best players in the game.
Yeah, MCY4, as you said, made it known that he is a huge threat during the Roundtable 2 qualifier tournament. We saw especially proficiency on tech and speed, but still well-rounded outside of that. You cannot confidently pick against MCY4, which is so scary. Absolutely a top 3 contender for this tournament, which is terrifying.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see how this guy plays. He's been a strong player for a very long time, but I think just now reaching that upper echelon of tourney players. So going to be very curious to see how he manages to do in close. Now we have, I think, the main character of OSU tournaments for the last year, Malashevsky. Just, if we're putting anyone up against a theoretical peak MREC and still has a chance to win the tournament, it would be Malashevsky. He has just shown up to every single tournament in the last year and has seemed almost unbeatable when put on his own. Has he even lost anything in the last year apart from OWC?
It doesn't feel like it.
Like, it's just unreal how consistent, how high skill cap, how good this player just is. Like, when it comes to skill sets, there is literally nothing you can confidently pick against him unless it's like your best skill set. The only way people have won points against Malashevsky is on their best skill sets. And even then, like, it just seems a lot of the time that this guy doesn't miss. Like, we're trying this tournament. We are making the pools so hard that we're going to see this guy miss, maybe. Just maybe. Maybe on, like, high 8-star maps, this guy will miss.
Maybe Grand Finals tiebreaker, he might get 700k. Who really knows?
Yeah, like, it's unreal how good this player is. Definitely the favorite to win the tournament coming out of the gate. Maybe, like, Emrek would compare, but that's also assuming he shows up and plays his best. But Malashevsky is just the guy everyone has to watch out for, the guy you have to be scared of. And he has played prior Corsaces. You can see by the stats, his strongest category is aim, but he can play just about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's widely known, widely perceived that this guy is the best tournament player in the world. It is no mystery why he's been invited to Corsace Closed, and we hope to see an amazing performance from Malashevsky.
And we talked up MCY for getting second place in the roundtable. Malashevsky, first place in the roundtable 2 qualifier tournament. So definitely, right now, on top of the 1v1 scene. We're going to see if he can manage to hold on to it. And next up, we've got Zudinator. When it comes to, I guess, Malashevsky's strongest skill sets, Zudinator has a lot of overlap with him. Zudinator has proven herself to be one of the strongest 1v1 players in the game over the last 2 years, just gradually getting better with every single tournament she plays. She has been nigh unbeatable on aim and anything where she is not speed capped, and even then, she's gotten better at speed. She got a booting keyboard. She can beat you on speed if you are not prepared, if you are not good enough at that map. She is just proven herself beyond so many aspects to be one of the strongest 1v1 players in the game right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Corsace Closed 2022, second place, coming back, hopefully to get her rerun to first place this year. We've seen her stay so consistently strong throughout the last year, even with all stats down. I think Zudinator absolutely has a chance to make the run if she can break through the wall of Malashevsky and Emrek.
Yeah, you say consistently strong. I think she's just, I was going to say strongly consistent. She is just one of the most consistent tourney players in the world, where you can put her on any long map where you see a lot of top players tend to shit miss. She does not do that. If she can play a map, she will get a very good score on that map. I think maybe the concern with her, maybe when we get to like those high 8-star pools where the skill cap just becomes so insane, where you need like the prodigal son to be able to play that map, like Emrek and Malashevsky. Maybe then we'll be able to see her get a little bit skill capped, but I mean, with how dedicated she is, I think it's going to be hard pressed to find that. All right, now we've got a Black Dog 5, of which the Corsace graphics said, screw you, we're going to keep you as White Cat. You all know White Cat. If you know MREC, you know White Cat. He was the best player in the world, #1 player in the game before MREC came along. Very strong aim player, very strong DT player, very, very consistent across loads and loads of skill sets. Haven't really seen him too active in tourneys as of late. I think most recently playing OWC, haven't really seen too much of him since then. But he's definitely going to be one of the players to look out for as well. Just a very high skill cap, very strong, very consistent player.
Yeah, White Cat, another player whose reputation just kind of precedes him. Such a consistently strong player that we've seen, ever since kind of got unbanned. He was just like dominating the conversation for a couple years, and now even taking a back seat in that sense, he's still very strong, consistently showing up to tourneys and performing. I don't think there's even much to say about White Cat. Everybody already knows what he's here to do, and he's here to win.
Yeah, hoping to see a great performance out of White Cat. I think a lot of us remember last year when he got put down to losers by Ekoro, and that was such an intense match, but hopefully White Cat going to be redeeming himself this year, maybe getting a top 3 spot, because we all know he has it in him. Next up here we have the next up-and-coming German tournament beast, Kriller. I'm sure a lot of you have gotten very familiar with Kriller over the last year and a half. He has just become one of the titans of the tournament scene, a player who doesn't really have many weaknesses, is extremely consistent, a very, very hard player to pick against in a 1v1 setting. He's just an absolute beast across gimmick skill sets, mechanical skill sets, aim, whatever you throw at him, he seems to be able to play.
Yeah, Kriller's super, super good. As you said, a German tournament beast. I think a lot of people who know Corsace will remember last year when Kriller basically won the tiebreaker for his team in the grand finals, the 400k on King Atlantis, wildly swinging it in the favor of his team. A Corsace Open champion, now participating in Corsace Closed for the very first time.
Yeah, and when you get the top score on the grand finals tiebreaker in the biggest tournament of the year, I mentioned this about Taquito, the clutch gene. There are some people who just, in those big moments, have it in them always, it feels, to step up to their top performance and just get the score that they need. Oftentimes in professional sports, you compare those players to Tom Brady, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kriller, Taquito, yeah. So, definitely a player you're going to be looking out for in Corsace Closed, going to be having a very good run, I think, because he is still on his grind and he is still going to be playing well, I believe. Next up here we have Crystal, #1 tournament player in China for many, many years now. I think since Rust Bell quit playing OSU tournaments after OWC 2016, Crystal has been on a very, very long mission to become that carry player for Team China in the World Cups. And in doing so, Crystal has become one of the most feared tourney players in the game, just so good across so many skill sets. You can count on him to get a good score on basically any map, I think, outside of your most difficult speed maps. And definitely a player who I'd expect to show up for Corsace Closed as well.
Yeah, I remember when the invite list was being formed and everyone within staff was trying to guess it. Crystal was the one that I think caught people off guard in a very, very good way. Crystal, a player who has shown their worth throughout the past year or so. A very unfortunate OWC run, and Crystal, I feel, was really hurt by that because Crystal showed an amazing performance within OWC, and having the team disqualified kind of sucked. And I hope that with Corsace Closed, we can really see just how good Crystal is in that 1v1 setting. Not a player known for taking on too many 1v1 tourneys. So I'm hoping that we see that this is the tournament where Crystal really outshines what they're known for.
Yeah, one question I do have about Crystal is I haven't really seen Crystal play tourneys that go too high in the star rating. I know Crystal to be insane, honestly, below 8 stars, but in this tournament the pools are going to be getting extremely hard, and I just haven't really seen too much of Crystal from that star rating. But if Crystal can grind out those maps, get that practice in, I am sure that Crystal will be able to get those really good scores even on this hard pool, and maybe even go far in the tournament. Now, next up we have Mustache. What is this picture? Okay, so Mustache. A lot of you probably got familiar with Mustache during the Roundtable 2 qualifier tournament earlier this year, as well as OWC last year, where Mustache was one of the key players for Poland in their 4th place campaign. I think Mustache, his strongest skill set is probably going to be his flow aim. If the map can be flow aimed, Mustache is going to be really good at it. So, you know, when your Nomad 2 is flow aim, when you have your HD3 flow aim, I would just go as far as to call him a very strong all-rounder as well, proving himself to be a very good AR8 player during the Roundtable, FCing, I think, Yokes love BBB. I don't think a lot of people really expected that of him, but he's going to be a really strong player in this tournament as well. He's definitely got the well-rounded skill set you need to be a 1v1 player. Maybe not necessarily a speed player. That could be a risk to him later in the tournament with some of those speedier maps. But I think for the early rounds, he's definitely going to be capable of putting up some very strong performances.
Yeah, Mustache, very good. Kind of the up-and-coming Polish player along with Malashevsky, as you said, known for his performance in the Roundtable, and I hope we see that continue. Mustache performing very well in that, and I really do hope we can see that continue within Corsace Closed.
And it looks like that's going to be it for our player showcase. And now I think we're going to be going straight on into our qualifiers pool. Now this pool is going to be balanced off of 8 stars, so you're going to be expecting maps that you would see in an 8-star map pool here for qualifiers.
Yeah, this is what you would expect to be grand finals level in most open rank tournaments. For here, it's the way that seeding is set.
If that's any indicator for how hard this tournament is going to get, that is going to be it. Pool format is going to be 4-2-2-2, 4 qualifiers, 4 nomads, 2 hiddens, 2 hard rocks, 2 double times. And I believe we are going to be getting right on into it. Starting out with Nomad 1, we have Sendan Life, mapped by Fedora. I believe also a former Corsace map as well. This map is going to be featuring lots of difficult, awkward aim patterns, up at a slightly higher BPM than your typical Nomad 1. I believe this is above 220 at the very least.
I think so. I'm double checking that right now.
227. Yeah, some map stats for you. CS4, AR 9.8, OD 9.2. Length is 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Gonna be a pretty adequate test of your basic Nomad 1 skill sets here. You got an aim map.
Yeah, and you were right. This was actually Grand Finals Hidden 1 in the first Corsace Closed, being reused now in the Nomad pool, Nomad 1, for Corsace Closed 2023 qualifiers. A bit of a different slotting for it, but still, I mean, it's got all the difficulty that a Corsace Closed map should have.
Totally. I mean, it was in Closed before. We can use it again. Also, like to mention that we do have a lot of customs in this tournament, but for the qualifiers round, we have no custom maps created specifically for this tournament, at least. Obviously, we have customs from other tournaments, but until later, we are not going to have any customs.
Yeah, the decision was, because this match isn't streamed, and it's not really actually matches, just players hopping into lobbies and playing through an order of maps, it didn't really feel fair to have mappers work on making something that felt like it was to be played for a match, only for it not to be shown at all. And qualifiers were kind of treating, both in Corsace Closed and Open, as a completely separate stage to the tournament itself.
Mhm.
And so there are no customs in Corsace Closed qualifiers.
By the way, this replay was done by Nanoya. So thank you to Nanoya for the replays. Oh, there we go.
Beautiful. Not much more to say about this map. Just 3 minutes. Fairly short as far as qualifiers no mod 1s go, I feel. But also very hard throughout that duration. This map is a brutal beast.
Oh, yeah, when you talk about length, I'd like to say just you wait. me and Aiden were a little bit devious for a map that is later on in this pool when it comes to length, and of which I will say we are not sorry. We are not sorry.
Welcome,
we
everybody,
are not sorry
to the qualifiers tiebreaker.
Oh my god, who said we couldn't have a tiebreaker in qualifiers? Well, not me, not us actually. We've got Midnight Madness by Dragon Force, mapped by Silence Player, also known as It's Winter. 6 minutes and 14 seconds, 200 BPM, 8.09 stars. This is a pretty hard map. I think it's not too stream focused, as it is more like a very long and difficult map where the main point of difficulty is streams. But there's also jumps present in this map. There's a lot of different patterns that can catch you off guard. It's not just a basic stream map like you often see in this slot in qualifiers.
Yeah, this No Mod 2 is really a test. I feel a lot better than other qualifiers No Mod 2s. You're testing consistency with hitting these streams. This is kind of what you'd see like Karcher farming as a stream player. Now, reusing it here as an actual test of players being able to play No Mod 2s.
Yeah, this is what I like to call a real stream map. You have stream maps that are just like streams all the way through, and like, yeah, they get the job done when it comes to testing your flow aim and your stamina. But when you're playing Osu, do you ever play those types of maps? You usually don't. Usually when you're playing a stream map, you think of a map like this. And that was kind of our thought process in including this map in the pool. Except we did have to ping testers a few times to make sure we weren't being too sadistic, but nobody had too much of an issue with it, so we're putting it through. And also, I'd like to say this is an indicator for what is to come when it comes to pool formatting. We are going to be mean. These map pools are mean. They're very hard and they're also very mean. So I believe this is the only time we really have an outlier in length throughout the tournament, but you're going to see us expanding on a lot of other types of skill sets throughout the tournament on different slots. So just be ready for that.
Yeah, these pools do not go easy on any players.
Nanoya in chat saying, this map is so dumb for tourneys, and you know what? Sure. But is that a bad thing? Yeah, I do promise you no other No Mod 2 is this long. So yeah, not really too much we can really say about this. We've got probably like half the map to go. Oh, slider stream. Watch out.
So scary.
Ugh.
I mean, I hope that at this level you can hit a slider stream.
Yep, slider stream jump scare. And here's some space streams. They flow fairly nicely though, so I think it's really going to be a little bit of a nerves test on this for some of our top players. 'Cause it's hard. When we're evaluating these pools, it's really hard to think of balancing because we're balancing for literally 16 of the best tourney players in the world. So when you're playing it yourself, you're like, oh, this is a diff spike, but then you're thinking, oh my god, is this a diff spike for like MREC?
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard thing about pulling something this absurdly hard is, what is a diff spike anymore? I don't know.
Legit, like...
Everything is hard.
Everything is hard for everyone except these players. We managed to get a few players that are like kind of near this level on our test playing group. We have players like Rectigon and Xylus who are bugging literally every single night because they're like some of the few players who can actually play maps with this difficulty consistently. But yeah, funnily enough, this is 6 minutes, but I think it's also probably going to be one of the higher scoring maps in the pool, despite being one of the longest and highest starred. It's just something that I feel a lot of our players are really comfortable on. Like, I'm thinking of players like Mustache, known for being a very strong marathon stream player as well. I'm going to be looking to him to get a really good score on this, and then obviously, this isn't necessarily a stamina map, so we can probably expect good players from our players who might be speed capped on like a 220 stamina map as our Nomad 2. Like I know Zudinator I think has an FC on this.
This map specifically has me really wishing I could see the progress graph. I think this is the end.
Yep, it's the end.
Awesome.
Took a while, but we're there. We're through the Nomad 2. 6 minutes later. Now we are coming on to Nomad 3, another map you are all probably a little bit familiar with if you follow Corsace. Yes, we are reusing another Corsace map. I believe this was in Open, though. Maybe
this is not a Corsace map. This is Circle Circuit.
Circle Circuit. Oh, true. Okay, I'm trolling. Yep, we're reusing another tourney custom, but this is a alt map. This is an alt map with a lot of cursor control.
Yeah, featured in the Circle Circuit Championship, I believe the round robin stage. This was the Nomad 3 for that tournament, and it is absolutely insane. A lot of people were finding struggle on this map just to... I mean, it's a Spartan alt map, right? It's everything you'd expect a Spartan map to be as far as challenge, just turned up to 11 given its difficulty. At 150 BPM and still mega space patterns, and you're seeing that now. The flow and aim control on this are both incredibly hard.
Yeah, this is one of those types of maps where you don't really just miss once on this map. When you miss on a pattern on this map, you miss the entire pattern. Because it is just so hard to get back on one of these cuts when you fall off of them. And it's just like so unreal to get a consistently good score on this. Because it doesn't really feel like any pattern in this map is like standout difficult. But it's just really hard all the way through. So you could hit a pattern every single time in practice, but then go into the lobby and then miss it, and then hit all the patterns that you typically miss on. It just feels like one of those really, like, you would call it RNG almost.
Yeah, that is kind of the feeling that this map tends to give up after a while. You can see we're in the Ki here, and it's just so brutal all throughout. A lot of those, like, 1, 2, 3 patterns you'll see it all over the map where you have to quickly aim at different triples that are all spaced.
This replay done by Xylus, by the way. Last night, like to thank Xylus very wholeheartedly. He came up like a champ very late last night and did some of these replays for us. Very grateful to him for that. So who's FCing this?
Great question. I'm trying to think who's the best flow-in player that they wouldn't be caught off guard with the flow along with the aim control.
I feel like Mustache is gonna get like top 4 on this. Like Mustache is a really strong flowing player. Otherwise, I guess Malashevsky number 1, I guess. But you could say that about almost any map in this pool. By the way, very strong score from Xylus on this. 500k on this is no poor feat. Very good score from him, hitting a lot of those very difficult patterns. Now we're going to head straight into the Nomad 4. Finally, a shorter map. We've got Chirality mapped by Funny on the self-destruct difficulty. And now this map is just a little bit messed up. I'll let the patterns speak for themselves very shortly.
Stop.
Boom. Those slider streams are littered throughout the beginning, and they are very difficult to be consistent on. I feel like you just have to read those like they're a normal circle stream, because those being sliders with those cuts, those are so mean to play. I think Listia grinded this for probably like 40 minutes, and this is the best score she could get.
Yeah, this map is so brutally hard. I think a lot of people who are fans of tech maps have become familiar with this map in the past couple months. Mapped by Funny or Hector. One of the upcoming sort of tech mappers. We've seen him upload a lot lately that people have latched onto. This was kind of really the first look into what he could do tech-wise, and it is so difficult.
Yeah, it's so difficult, but it's so cool. It's really hard to establish a very long combo on this map, which I think fits with the fact that it's a really short map as well. So if you can manage to combo through any of these difficult sections, you're going to be having a very high score. Like if you can combo through the beginning or this ending section, you should get at least 3 or 400k, I think. Which is probably going to be good enough to get you a fairly high placement on this map. So, pretty good. Minute 32 second Nomad 4. And we are through with the Nomad pool. Thank you to Listia for that replay. We're going to be moving on to the Hidden pool, starting out with Hidden 1. We've got Belief, Deca, John LFJ. Very, very fast name is the name of this map.
I remember this. I think this might have been the first map that was put in the pool, actually. Corsace Open Semifinals Free Mod 1 for 2021. Reused here for Corsace Closed 2023.
Yeah, I mean, we just love reusing our old maps.
Like, if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Amen. Another replay from Xylus. Honestly, I think a lot of what we said early about this map is very true throughout the map. There isn't really too much of a difficulty spike anywhere in this map. It is just consistently fast aim throughout the entire map. Very, very much contrasts with the Nomad 1 in the BPM. This is all the way up at 274 BPM, almost 8 stars, AR10, CS4. I feel like it's probably going to be one of the more comfortable maps for most of the players here.
Yeah, this map isn't too crazy. I mean, obviously, it's still in an 8-star pool for a reason. But this map definitely, as you said, a little more comfortable than the rest. A little less awkward than the Nomad 1, I would say, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. But yeah, with how many strong aim players we have in this tournament, I think this map is going to get absolutely shredded in the qualifiers compared to some of the other maps. We have players like Zudi, Malashevsky, MCY, White Cat, like, they're all going to do so well on this map. Also our classic Deca Falcom sound team, bottom text.
Yeah, of course, the classic. The what you expect Deca to map. When Deca uploads something that isn't Falcom, I get shocked. I don't know what to do.
Oh my god, the triangle stream. I remember that from Jean d'Armes. It's a funny reference.
That is. I haven't actually looked at that map in forever. I need to look at it again. What a classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool. This map feels a lot like that map actually, except with a little less of a tapping requirement. I think that triangle stream is the biggest stream in the map, while that tiebreaker had a lot of streams you had to contend with. Well, there's definitely the main emphasis of difficulty on this map is going to be in the aim. So definitely an aim player's map.
I mean, as you kind of expect Hidden One, if it's an A map, to be, right? Like, if Hidden One tech, you're like, okay, well, maybe it's not an aim player map. But Hidden One looks like this, it's an aim player map. Even if there's streams in it every now and then. Nah, this is aim.
Yep. It looks like we are about through. Thank you again to Xylus for that replay. Also got around 500k on this. 640k actually, very strong from him. And now we are very quickly going into the HD2. And this map is a little bit messed up now. You guys got your comfortable map in that HD1, and now you are going to be made to suffer again on this HD2 by Deputy Force. I believe it was a custom for an Asian tournament, I think, somewhere. Yeah, this map is all the way down at AR 7.5, and this map is just brutal. Lots of very difficult cursor control patterns that you have in this map. You have to control your flow very carefully on this, otherwise you will miss entire patterns, kind of similar to your Nomad 3, where you have to be on your guard for every single pattern because you just kind of can't miss, otherwise you will miss a lot more.
Yeah, you see really the flow element coming into effect here with these streams. As well as just the jumps. This is not an easy Hidden 2 by any means. It's a little more aim-centric than people would expect for something that's usually a reading slot, but it is still very hard regardless.
Yeah, I mean, YokeSpy only got 430k, and YokeSpy is one of the best area hidden players probably in the game, so if YokeSpy is struggling with a low AR map, then I'm sure our top players are probably going to struggle with it too. Look at these snap patterns you have. So difficult. Yeah, definitely, if HD1 is going to be one of the higher scoring maps, this is probably one of the lower scoring maps. But you kind of have to do that with an 8. When you have an 8-star map pool, and you have a HD2, you have to put in a map that's as messed up as this one.
No, this is the part where you're sitting in your qualifiers lobby, you get 100k, and you go, yeah, good run.
Yep, I mean, I don't think we have Badu. We don't have Badu. If we had Badu, maybe he would be able to FC this, but I don't really think we have any of the extremely high octane reading players in this tournament.
No, we do not. No Badu, no Ikoro.
True.
A different lineup this year.
Look at those cut streams. Oh my god.
So insane.
Map is so brutal.
Yeah, you took it out of my mouth. This map is so brutal.
Alright, now quickly into the Hard Rock pool. Kodadama Refrain. Ranked map. Mapped by Ducky. This map is 2 minutes long, 200 BPM. This is going to be continuing on the trend of making your HR1 more of an aim tech, people like to call it. I like to call it like mech tech because it's mechanics mixed with tech, but with mostly of a focus on aim. And this map kind of fits that to a bill. Lots of very difficult kick slider jumps in this map, as well as some very awkwardly shaped cut streams somewhere in this map that you're gonna have to be well practiced for. Gone are the days of being able to sight read your HR1 because this map is not very sight readable, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that said, definitely still playable with some practice. It's just the Hard Rock Light Tech is a little bit harder. I believe you called it Mech Tech before, a term that I've come to love.
Yeah, I want that. I want my name to be written wherever that term is said. Anyone who uses Mech Tech has to reference me now.
No, I'm good. I'm taking it for myself now after you said that.
I hate you, Titanic. Why would you do that? Alright, so here is the most tech-heavy section of the map. You can see this section absolutely brutal, but you don't need to follow those sliders at least. As long as you get your cursor to the slider head, you're going to be able to combo through it. But I think comboing this section is probably the difference between an okay score on this map and a very good score. If you can get through this with your combo, you're probably going to be eclipsing 400 or 500k with your score.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you act that section, even better. That's your path to seed 1 right there. That space stream is also a little ridiculous.
Yeah, after aiming a section like the one before that, just going into that very high spacing stream is going to be pretty difficult. But if you get through that, then this section is one of the relatively calmer ones of the map. Probably get a little bit of your combo back here. I'd wager this would probably be in the middle when it comes to average scores in this qualifier. Now, Hard Rock 2, Captain Map, Dazzle Hop, on the AR8 diff of this, but it's CS 5.5, so we're using it, and it is CS 7.15, replay by Rectigon. I actually pinged him at 2 a.m. last night for this one, and he just got a 800k score on this somehow, so yeah, what a guy. So this map, I think it balances out fairly well with the Hard Rock 1 in that this map isn't really too techy. A lot of the difficulty on this is going to be in the linear aim that you see right now. At 220 BPM, these jumps are a lot harder than they look. Also with the CS7, you have to be so precise on your snapping with these patterns.
Yeah, this isn't. We're really to the point where we can't just pull a 6.5 in qualifiers anymore. The players are just too good for that. So to test precision, we've got to go a little bit hard on the circle. That's why we have the 7.15 along with this. Just brutal spacing map, honestly. 7.15 alone is not the challenge of this map.
Yeah, if you're good at gimmicks, well, you have your AR 7.5 HD2 and enjoy your CS 7.15 Hard Rock 2. Map is on the shorter side though, so it's not going to be too long for this map. Don't have to be too consistent. If you can just combo one of those very difficult sections, you should get a very good score on this map. Just 2 minutes and 8 seconds in length. Yeah, Rectigon got this like last night very quickly after I pinged him. It was unreal. Just one miss.
Yeah, one missing this map is stupid, actually.
And that's it for the Hard Rock pool. Into the DT pool, Ano Yume o Nazote. We've got Captain and Jonathan LFJ in a collab. Second LFJ collab in this pool, funnily enough. Replay from Eternum. This is going to be your DT1 consistency map. But because we only have 2 DTs, this is going to be more of an all-around speed with the DT1 elements in it. It's kind of aim and speed mixed in the same spot, which I think is very good for a 2 DT pool. You kind of have to test as much as you can with only 2 DT slots. And this is AR 10.4, by the way. So as our pools are being very, very, very difficult, we're going to have to push AR as well now. seen a few tournaments start to push AR going up to 10.5 sometimes, but I believe we're going up above 10.3 multiple times throughout the tournament.
Yes.
I can't spoil. But we are pushing.
There is definitely some pushing going on in this tournament here. 10.4 is definitely just the start of that.
Yeah, this is a tune. This is definitely like an Emrek, Rimuru, Ninarek type of map, I think.
Yeah, for sure. The high global ranking map.
Legit. Very nice FC from Eternum on this. Not sure if there's too many DTFCs on this map. Okay, now, last map of the pool, DT2. There was one thing that was missing from that last DT map, and it is very present here. We have another Corsace reuse. This was a Corsace Closed, or Open 2021 Grand Finals DT Stamina map, and it is a DT Stamina map. That's all you can say about it. I believe this FC from Xylus was either in the tournament or practicing for it. 248 BPM bursts all the way through, and they are very long. We decided, you know, our DT1, we're testing pretty much everything that the mod has to offer, except for like a very difficult stamina map, and we don't have a Nomad 5 speed map either, and our Nomad 2 isn't really stamina heavy at all. So let's just make our DT2 the most egregious stamina map we can find. And we ended up settling on this. You know, settling kind of a rude way to put it, this map is pretty good. Love you, Dada.
I mean, Dada, a part of Corsace himself. Very nice to use this here. Again, it is just the pure, like, horrid speed if you are not ready for it. This map will catch you if you are playing bad instantly. And luckily for the players, they can choose the order that they play the maps in. So they don't have to play this one very last if they feel like their stamina is going down. Even then, it feels like it's over if you just mess up once.
I feel like a lot of players are going to just have a whole stamina session right before this, put this map first, and then just play the rest of the maps after, because this is the type of map where warm-up really means everything between getting your best score and your worst score. Like on your best stamina day, you FC this. On your worst stamina day, it's 300k. Like, gotta make sure at the top of your game for this. Although it is not very high in spacing, so I'm seeing some people in the chat say it's a little bit double tappable, but I think with the level of speed players we have in this tournament, double tapping is only going to be the difference between maybe you and the next best, or next lowest speed player, so I don't know, it's doable, it's doable. Don't let me discourage you. But, can we bring back the Among Us slider at the end? Can we make it happen?
That's so true. We need more Among Us sliders in this world.
You removed
I mean, we have the Among Us mustache in the tournament. I feel like Among Us slide is only fitting.
You know, when Dada ranked this, he removed the Among Us slider and like the very loud sus hit sounds, but he kept one hit sound on the last slider where he just whispered into his mic, sus. So like if you go in the editor and go all the way to the last slider tick, you can just like very, very quietly hear it.
It's actually awesome.
But yeah, I mean, if we have 2 FCs in a row, the map is too easy. So it will only get harder from here. Here it is. Dang, he doesn't have the hit sound enabled.
No.
Well, that's going to be it for our intro stream. We had the player intro, we had that awesome little anime opening, and now we have the Mappool showcase all done and dusted. The qualifiers will be done throughout this week, so players be ready for that. You should be pinged about that very shortly. And I guess after that, I've been Miles, joined by Titani, and thank you all for watching. Oh yeah, and tune in. I believe 2 weeks from now is when matches are going to start. So be ready for that. We're going to be announcing those after the showcase next week. So stay tuned for next week. We'll be announcing who's playing who along with the seeding results. So be ready for that.
We'll also have the round of 16 showcase. Very insane map pool throughout this tournament, by the way. Not just the qualifiers, not just the round of 16, but the entire tournament is a fucked map pool as far as difficulty goes. We'll see you with the round of 16 showcase. We'll be announcing seeding results. We'll be announcing the matches, and we'll be showing off the map pool featuring our custom maps along with pre-existing ones next weekend.